could first tell us who you are and what you do.
I'm David Jahowski. I'm with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and we have three primary objectives out here. One, to go out and recover oil birds, find dead birds, and also to do reconnaissance in areas that need boom repair, identify oil beaches, as well as do counts of birds and where they are before the oil hits.
And you say you're recovering birds, but when you encounter other animals that you might be able to help, can you take them as well?
We do. It's actually fairly structured, where the Fish and Wildlife Service primarily focuses on birds, and there's we call in or we help with agencies that collect like dolphins or sea turtles that are also.
Channel 16.
So yes, I believe it's the Army or the reserves that are maintaining these booms here. And so they'll come out on all-terrain vehicles with the pump and refill the booms if they have a leak. These are filled with seawater.
David, on average, how many birds have you been picking up every day, dead or alive?
Oh, well, it really varies. We probably pick up 2 or 3 every day, just in the past week or so. But that's across our whole region here. It kind of varies. The oil came in a few weeks ago, and we had a really busy stretch of collecting live birds and some dead ones. And then it receded, so only now is it really coming back after Hurricane Alex has kind of pushed it up.
And what about live ones? Any?
Oh, well, live ones this past week have been fairly slow. We captured a live lapping gull, I think, 2 days ago, and then another lapping gull the day before that, and then a pelican, I think, the day before that. So it's usually 1 or so a day at this rate.
And how hard are they to catch?
Well, some of them we've been monitoring for a few days. So the pelicans, some of them come back to the same holes, and we recognize them. And some of them it's a matter of time waiting for them to wear down before they're able to be captured from boat. For our report.
This is Grand Isle State Park. Just taking an example of what they're doing here with the orange boom. They've also, I guess, bulldozed for a sand berm in the last few days. That wasn't there the first time we came, which was about 6 days ago. And here's the view on this side. Same thing. Pretty much far down as you can see. Go for it.
Esther and I have been at this pier on Grand Isle State Park for about 10 minutes. And the time it took us to walk the pier, visit at the end for a little bit, and then walk back. We have more tar balls that have come in.
They're hard to see on this camera, but there's little, what looks like rocks or turtles. They're tar balls. Right? We're not allowed on the beach, so we can't show it to you. There's oyster catchers picking at the sand right there. The white foam, we're told, is the corexit dispersant washing into the sand.
Yeah, I'll see you there.
I appreciate you talking to us. If I could just ask you a question.
Sure.
First, could you tell me your name and who you're with, and then perhaps go about what your process is with all of this?
All right, well, my name is Felix Lopex, and I work with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. I am a contaminant specialist, and I'm out of the Caribbean Field Office. My regular work area is Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, but I've been working in oil spill response since more or less 1980. And right here I'm with response for the Gulf spill. What we do on a daily basis is go out and check all the different bird colonies that are found in Barataria Bay. Report any boom that needs to be fixed back to the Coast Guard. We have eyes on the water all the time, so usually we'll call back anything we find. We get calls on oiled birds, and we go track them down, and anything we find gets brought back here to our aid station. And they get stabilized in the aid station and then sent over to the main rehab facility in Venice, where they undergo a more thorough cleaning and feeding until they're able to fend for themselves.
So the two islands we visited, what were they called?
First island was Queen Bess, which is the nearest one to Grand Isle. That's one of the first islands where the brown pelican was reintroduced to Louisiana, so it has historical significance as well as biological significance. The other one, we're calling it Mangrove Island for lack of a better name. It's almost 100% black mangroves. Louisiana is one of the northernmost points of that mangrove species, so you see them as small bushes. And that's another mixed nesting colony with roseate spoonbills, pelicans, and other birds.
And now, can you tell me about the bird that we found on the boom?
Okay, the bird that we picked up is a juvenile roseate spoonbill. Apparently he had some oil on him and is either trying to fly and fell into the water. Somehow he made his way out to the outer part of the boom. And he probably was not going to be able to make it back to the island, so we picked him up. And he's right now at the aid station, and he'll be transported to Venice later on in the day, weather permitting.
And can you tell me what happened on that island? We noticed that the boom was not moving.
Yeah, this is part of the daily routine. You get storms that blow through Barataria Bay, rearrange the boom for everyone, and then it's part of the daily maintenance of these areas. You have to send crews out, relocate the boom, fix the boom, add new boom, remove old boom. Boom maintenance is an ongoing and will be an ongoing process as part of this response.
And I think there were quite a few oil birds out there. Can you describe what we were seeing?
Yeah, there's a lot of partially oiled birds out there. I don't think you can really find one that's not oiled. They'll have some degree of oiling, whether it's their feet, their bottom, top of their head. These are all seabirds or they're wading birds, so they're in the water, and there's oil in the water, so they will get oiled. It's the degree of oiling that's a concern, whether they're able to fend for themselves. Sometimes they spend more time cleaning themselves than eating, and that can be a problem. They'll start getting weak. So we monitor these islands on a daily basis. If we can pick up one or two that can no longer fend for themselves, then those are the ones that get taken into the rehab.
And could you tell me how many times a day the boats and how many boats go out there?
Weather permitting, we're out on the water almost all day, checking the islands at various times. We have boats as far away as the Empire Jetties, which is essentially our eastern limit, and all the way to Fushan, which is our western limit. So they run the bay. In the late afternoon, the last boat coming in makes the last round of the islands, and then we all tie up. So we're coming in we're in the water 7 a.m. and back around 5:30 in the afternoon. And that's our routine.